Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to a new episode of my A to Z of my complete Blu-ray and 4K collection. Yes, steel books and all, everything like that. So today we're taking a look at S for Sierra. So let's get into it. Okay, before I start proceedings, if you're new to the channel, then welcome back. If you are a returning member, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, please consider doing so. Come and join the channel, and let's just delve into the S's, because S is quite a big letter, isn't it? I was dreading S and T, and then I'm happy with the rest because the other ones are small letters. But there we go. So let's begin. Okay, first up, and I'm going to fly through these. It's Scary Movie 3.5. Okay, this is the only Scary Movie film that I have on Blu-ray. I don't really like the first two Scary Movies. I like the third one, I quite like the fourth one, and that's it. 3 and 4 are the ones for me because it's more of an aeroplane, Naked Gun style humour than the sort of humour that doesn't sit right with me in the first two. And the last one was just boring. There we go. Then we have Sharknado. Yes, Sharknado. £2 pickup. I don't know why. Starship Troopers. Traitors of Mars animated film there. Tom Hanks in Sully. This was good. Interesting story. Alec Baldwin in The Shadow. This release here, yeah. Yeah, The Shadow, Alec Baldwin. I didn't see it when it first came out. Same with The Phantom, but I recently, well, say recently, over about 2 years ago, watched The Phantom, enjoyed it, picked this up at the same time, but very similar, but I didn't get through it, unfortunately. Then we have a 4K version of San Andreas. Yes, The Rock. I quite enjoyed this. I like disaster movies. Like I said, I'm rushing through these. 4K version of The Scorpion King. Got another one of them. A 4K version of Sonic the Hedgehog 2 that I did pick up in CEX, I will admit. I wasn't going to pick it up, or until it got cheap. I did get it cheaper with a comic book inside. Silence. I quite enjoyed this. Slow burn film, very slow burn. Demi Moore. Striptease, German release edition. Yeah, I don't think we've got it over here. And then we have a Saw film collection, all 7 Saw films, spread over several discs, like so. There is a code inside, if it still works, I have no idea. You're willing to try it, anyone who watches. It might not work because this would have been a second-hand copy anyway. Then we have Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I don't know, I've tried twice, I just can't do it. And another Scorpion King, because they've released a steelbook, and I did get it. Yes, that should go in my steelbook collection, rather than being there. And then we have I'll show this here, because it is a Stallone Collection disc, so S for Stallone, and it contains all those films there. I primarily got it for Assassins and Specialist more than anything else. Demolition Man I already have. Yeah, it was those two that I wanted, Assassins and Specialist. So there we go. Suburbicon, picked this up cheap. Still yet to watch it. Michael Fassbender in The Snowman. Sam Jackson, Snakes on a Plane. Nicolas Cage, Sorcerer's Apprentice. That was, you know, yeah, cheap. Social Network. That was a Poundland pickup. Still yet to watch it. Not seen it. Smurfs. Got this for 50p in CEX. And why not? It was 50p. And I do have the second one. Oh, that'll probably turn up in a minute. Stretch. That was another one that I got very cheap. Swordfish. Interesting. Didn't know I had that. Starsky and Hutch. Do it. Do it. Do it. I like Starsky and Hutch. That's quite fun. I got this cheap. I had sort of buyer's remorse after buying this cheap, because because I didn't think it was that good, but I think I got it in Portsmouth and they had it something like £4 on 4K, and I picked it up, but it wasn't a great film, was it? And this one I got cheap, again, £3, something like that. Spy Who Dumped Me, I don't know why, I just did, still sealed. Sunshine, decent film. Another one I picked up cheap, I don't know why. Is that Kristen Krauke from Smallville? It is, isn't it? Street Fighter. The Legend of Chun-Li. Then we have Shoot 'Em Up. Monica Bellucci there. I knew I had the Smurfs 2 in a slip. I got both of them at the same time, 50p a piece. Small Soldiers. And 4K version of Smokey and the Bandit. I didn't get Steelbook because I didn't really like the artwork on the Steelbook. And Smokey and the Bandit Part 2. I need a cleaner box for this one. Yeah. Smokey and the Bandit, Ride Again. This is the second one, isn't it? I think it's the second one, yes. Let's continue. Now, just because these are behind me, let's hit this Steelbook territory, shall we? So first up in the Steelbooks, Shrek, 4K. Then we have Sin City. And we have Sin City. I'm just going to interject between the Steelbooks because this is behind me, and it is another a Blu-ray release of Sin City, a nice big box like this that comes with a wealth of stuff like magnets, posters, some sort of metal sign for Basin City, and playing cards in there. That's the metal sign. Some playing cards, and it has Sin City 1 and 2 in there on Blu-ray. I feel that the sequel did come somewhat too late. Obviously, Sin City is based upon a comic book by Frank Miller, a graphic novel series, I should say. So yes, so that's that. So continuing on, Skyfall. I probably showed this under O, but there we go. Sonic the Hedgehog, the first one, German Steelbook release. Soul. I'm getting these all muddled up. And we have Speed in 4K. Keanu Reeves, Sandra Bullock, great film. I'll rush through these. Star Trek the Motion Picture. Star Trek 2, The Wrath of Khan. All these are sealed. Star Trek 3, Search for Spock. Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home. Star Trek 5, The Final Frontier. Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country. Just yesterday, as I'm filming this, I actually had the opportunity to speak to the director of 2 and 6, writer of 4, Nicholas Mayer, on Video Tasty's channel. Yeah, fantastic. Thanks again to Video Tasty for that opportunity. A memory I'll have for a long time speaking to Nicholas Mayer. A 10-minute chat I had with him. Fantastic. Star Trek Generations. First Contact. Not the best Star Trek film. Insurrection. That was to Michael. Over. He knows who he is. Nemesis. And then we have Steelbook of Star Trek. Star Trek Into Darkness. Another Star Trek Into Darkness Steelbook. One of these came with a little ship. No, sorry, that was this. Came with a little ship. Star Trek Beyond, the version of this I got with a little ship. Ship's downstairs in the cabinet. Yes. So there we go. Star Trek. Keeping with Star Trek, I will show these now. Just because they are here. I have this Star Trek 1 to 10 set, which is fabulous. Matt pointed me towards this. It all opens up. They're all in here. All the Star Trek films again in this sort of book release with art on the discs. Fantastic release, really is. I have got the Star Trek films a few times over, so there no doubt will be popping up again in this here video. I'm trying to get this back in. I couldn't get them back in because the patch, I'll sew it onto my shirt, shall I? The patch got stuck at the bottom and stuff wasn't going back in properly. There we go. So that's in. And then I do have the Star Trek, the motion picture, the director's cut edition, like so. Lovely, lovely. So, steelbooks. Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad, not the Suicide Squad. I didn't get the Suicide Squad steelbook. Didn't like the art that they'd done on any of them. Shazam. Zachary Levi. Zachary Levy. Chuck. Shaun of the Dead. Great film. Great film. I do have that in 4K as well in a Cornetto Trilogy box set. I won't be showing that now. Sharknado as a steelbook, which I primarily got because I just loved the steelbook. I thought it looked really great. I loved it. Seraphim Falls, pick up from CX. No, Poundland, sorry. Okay, this should be under TV really, but the Schwer Metal, the Heavy Metal Chronicles TV series. That's Kelly Brook. Kelly Brook starred in it, or in one episode anyway. Yeah, I have season 2 as well, but not steelbook. That should be under the TV bit. Might be shown again in TV if I remember to pull it out from here. Now, I could be talking about every film, but I know that this is going to be a long video otherwise. So anyway, so we have 16 candles there. I don't really say where it came from. 1980s classic. Season of the Witch, Nicolas Cage with a lenticular, him and Ron Perlman. Now, why I've got 2 copies, I don't know, but I've got a Blu-ray and a 4K version. I think I got the Blu-ray cheap first, and then I saw the 4K for £8, so I thought, okay, I'll get that with a slip. Then Snow White and the Huntsman. First one, I think. Yeah, this is the first one, steelbook. So that should be really in the steelbook section. Then we have Schindler's List. Yes. Couldn't get through it. Couldn't get through it. There we go. Safe. Station Statham. Still sealed. Not seen it. I don't really know if this should be in here. It's a comic book type of Blu-ray. Spider-Woman. Agent of Sword. Like a sort of motion comic thing. There we go. The Blu-ray of Skyscraper. Like I said, I picked up the 4K cheap. So that should go in my double pile. Another Nicolas Cage, Stolen. And then we have Sex and the City 1 and Sex and the City 2. And I do have a Sex and the City TV series as well. Superbad. I got this for about £1. Sex tape. The Sweeney. Primarily I picked it up for Hayley Atwell. Yeah. I like Hayley Atwell. Shining. 4K. A fantastic film. I love it. Really good. Really, really good. Scouts. Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. Yeah, it was sort of forgettable fun. Sphere. I think this is a, I don't know, foreign, or is it region 1? I don't know. I'm not sure. Simpsons movie. This is sort of up where I stopped with the Simpsons, I think, about that era. Didn't watch anything after. The humour just left it. Stealth. Jennifer Aniston, Jason Bateman. Switch. I don't know if I've seen that or not. The Switch. Is it a body swap? Jeff Goldblum's in it as well. Okay, it's got a good cast. Jeff Goldblum. Jason Bateman, he's alright. Patrick Wilson is in it. Patrick Wilson's good. You know what? I might put it on one side. I don't know if I've seen that. Oh, and then we've got Serenity. But Serenity, not the... I've got the Serenity, the Firefly film, but this is the Matthew McConaughey and Anne Hathaway film from Germany, which got slated. Yeah, there we go. And for some reason a double of Shoot 'em Up, because I think I lost Shoot 'em Up, couldn't find it, picked it up again, then found my original version. There we go. Then we have Sharknado 3D. With 3D glasses like that, look at that. Yeah. Shallows, another shark film. Sicario and Sicario 2, which I both enjoyed. I like both of them. Serenity again, but this version of Serenity. And a film I went to see at cinema, Seeking a Friend for the End of the World. And there was hardly anyone in it. Not surprised, but I quite enjoyed it. I like Steve Carell. The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. I love this film. I really do. Yeah, scenery is beautiful. It's just a great film. Great film. And a third version of Scorpion King. Why? I don't know. I have 3 versions. Who knows? And a second version, you'll see a lot of doubles, no doubt. Blu-ray to 4K. Saving Private Ryan, a film that I adore. I remember my cinema trip. Then Band of Brothers, a TV series to sort of follow it up with. You can't watch one without the other. And then I do have a Blu-ray of San Andreas, obviously, because I got that before the 4K. Salt with Angelina Jolie. Shame it didn't get a sort of series of those. And Arnie in Sabotage. Okay, so moving on. Samuel Jackson in Shaft. Samuel Jackson's first Shaft film, and I've got the Blu-ray kicking around, DVD kicking around inside as well. And then I have the other Shaft film. Played a bit more for humour, but I didn't mind it. I know it didn't go down well, but there we go. Shawshank Redemption, that I do have again. Here we have Sheena, Queen of the Jungle. Yes. This is a Region 1 version, I believe. Sherlock Holmes. Oh, we're down with a nice lenticular there. And Sherlock Holmes, Game of Shadows. Shutter Island. Silver Linings Playbook. Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow. Visually very stunning. Okay, then we have here... wait a minute, one sec. We have Shakespeare in Love. And Spotlight. That you see I picked up cheap. But I didn't pick it up in... No, I did. I don't know. CEX. Yeah, £2.50. I think. Only because it's got a charity shop thing on the side as well. Then we have Skyline with a lenticular. And Beyond Skyline, Skyline 2. No, yeah, and I do have... I don't know where it is though. Skyline's the third one. But I'm not sure where it is. I may come across it in a minute. Snowpiercer. Soldier, which I also have on a 4K steelbook. That's just reminded me. Let me see if I can find that. And here it is. Here it is. German release, Star Force Soldier. Yeah, is that... No, it's Blu-ray. It's a Blu-ray release, not 4K, sorry. It's a steelbook Blu-ray from Germany that I picked up. The writing is thingy on the back. It's kind of like a spiritual sort of successor to Blade Runner, in that it's very much sort of meant to be set in that Blade Runner universe. But don't let that make you think that that's like better than what it is. It's an okay film. Source code for lenticular. Space Cowboys, Clint Eastwood. Directed by Clint Eastwood. All the oldies going into space. Species. And I do have a Species box set that we'll come back to. Yeah, Species 2 was my very first ever DVD I bought, a Region 1 DVD. Speed 2 Cruise Control. As you saw, I had the Speed Steelbook. Speed 2 Cruise Control, yeah. And I'm not opposed to that film. It's not a great Speed sequel, but as a film that stands on its own, it's not a bad film. It's, if you wanted to introduce younger children to action without any swearing and being overly violent, that's the film to do it with. They might get something out of it. Speed Racer. I think that was a very early Blu-ray I bought. A Starship Troopers trilogy. Yep. And Starship Troopers Invasion. The other one needs to go with this. The other animated film that I showed a bit earlier. Then I have a Steven Seagal collection. Executive Decision, Above the Law, Hard to Kill, Nico Above the Law, Hard to Kill, Under Siege 2 and Under Siege. Primarily I got this for Under Siege 2 and Executive Decision. Yeah. Straight Heads. This is a film that I'm split on 50-50 because I love Gillian Anderson. I really do. I think she's fantastic. I hate Danny Dyer. So you can see the divide on this film for me. I begrudge having to buy a film starring Danny Dyer. I think he is the worst thing ever. He's got no acting talent. He's got no discernible talent whatsoever. He doesn't deserve to be on the screen at all. Gillian Anderson, on the other hand, fantastic. Gillian Anderson won in that one. Striking Distance, Bruce Willis and a young Sarah Jessica Parker. Sucker Punch. Sure, I've got a steelbook for that as well somewhere. Sudden Death. Jean-Claude Van Damme. I got to see this early in the cinema when it came out. I got tickets to go and see a special screening of it in advance of the actual theatrical release. And it's like Die Hard, isn't it? It's a Die Hard ripoff. Super 8. I've got a steelbook for this somewhere as well. And Mila Jovovich and Pierce Brosnan in Survivor. Break proceedings with a couple of collector's editions, shall we? So first up, Scarface. Which is... I got this because Jimmy Boy had it, actually. My Rich Jimmy Boy's movies. It contains a steelbook in there, like so. Booklet. Some photos and... money thing, like a driving license, and a little clip with a logo on it. Which I recall that when Jimmy got his little money clip didn't have any sort of printing on it. So people might have swapped it out, which is highly unfortunate. I don't know if we ever resolved that. Then I have this box set here of 4 Species films. Species 1, 2, 3 and 4. There's 4, 3, 2... and 1. Let's jump back into a bit of Star Wars and Star Trek territory. Well, I say we ain't done no Star Wars yet, have we? But Star Trek the motion picture set 1 to 6. Now in here I do have 1 to 4 4K discs. Yes. Don't ask how, but yes. Nefarious means. I still got to get 5 and 6 on 4K to go in there as well. And the next generation 4-film set. Both of these have like this lenticular-y style in the Starfleet badge of the Enterprise. But unfortunately, this one here sustained a little bit of damage there by a BB bullet hitting it out of one of my BB guns. Okay, and then we have the Kelvin timeline films in 4K, all 3 of them. And Star Trek 2, The Wrath of Khan, director's cut, but I need the 4K like I already said. Let's go into Star Wars now. So we have Star Wars, the prequel trilogy. Star Wars, the original trilogy. Star Wars, The Force Awakens. Star Wars, The Last Jedi. Solo, Star Wars story. I didn't mind it at all. And fantastic film, Rogue One. Star Wars Rogue One. But I also have this release, 3D, still sealed for Force Awakens. Also, steelbook-wise for Star Wars, I have Force Awakens like that. And I got this steelbook rather cheap in CEX not too long ago, actually. I think it was down in the Isle of Wight or in Portsmouth. Something like I have that. A few Star Wars steelbooks, not many. Just Star Wars is too, you know, it's released too often for me. So I do have Phantom Menace like that, still sealed. Just because I really like that art more than anything else. I have an Empire Strikes Back one there. And I have an Empire Strikes Back magnet that I can house with that. But it's empty. Basically, someone was selling this tin for like about £4 on steelbook without the discs on eBay. And it's a nice one. And I thought, oh, okay, I'll get that for that. Last Jedi steelbook, like that. Rogue One, like so. Solo, steelbook. And a 4K Solo steelbook, like so. Which I got in a sale. Now, I do have these here. I got them when they originally came out in Germany because we got them. They came out there before they came out here with these covers. So I do have the dirty German thing on them. Phantom Menace. Attack of the Clones. You know, the third one. I can't remember its name. New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Jedi, Return of. The only one without a slip, which is quite a bugbear really, Force Awakens. And this is a slimmer case for, what do you call it? Last Jedi. So you can see why I didn't get steelbooks when I didn't, yeah, it's just too much in it really. I'm never buying the Star Wars films again. There we go. Because I've got them, no matter what they do with them, release them, Rogue One and Solo Star Wars Story. Yeah, I won't ever buy. But I did get this because of Matt over at Matt V's Movies. He bought it. I saw it. I thought, oh, that's quite nice. Let's see if I can get it at a decent price. Lo and behold, I did. And I ain't done an opening for it yet, but I will do. And that'll probably be up. Might be up before this. It might be up after. Who knows? And that is this Rise of Skywalker tin set. And this is one where I suffer a bit of buyer's remorse in a sense. And it's nice looking tin. Probably a tin with nothing in. But it's a Star Wars film that I just really hate. Why? Why? There we go, that's the question. Now, back into a bit of steelbook territory. Sweeney Todd, Demon Barber of Fleet Street. Space Jam, A New Legacy. A fabulous steelbook for Sucker Punch. I knew I had a steelbook somewhere. I really like that artwork. And I got this cheap, and I know I had it over, you know, I showed it earlier, but Traitors of Mars steelbook, Starship Troopers, the animated film. And then we have a Spider-Man Homecoming steelbook with a lenticular there. And I have two steelbooks for No Way Home. One sealed, one open. One was the Zavvi, I think the other one was Amazon or HMV, I don't know, but I ended up with both. One I got for free because it was extremely damaged. I wasn't very happy with you, Amazon. Yeah, there we go. And they refunded me. So there we go. Happy days. Another steelbook, Santa Claus. All three Santa Claus movies, like so, in this fabulous steelbook, which is great. I really like that steelbook. Really nice. Striking. Okay, continuing on. We have the Spider-Man Legacy box set that I bought quite cheap because it's just a fabulous, fabulous looking set. All the 5 original sort of Spider-Man films. Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield. My Far From Home steelbook is in here. Now all completely illuminates like so. Fantastic release. I shan't get it out because this video is just going to go on. Then I have a VHS Blu-ray edition of Silent Running. Classic sci-fi film that I adore. And I have a steelbook for... if I can get that off. Still got a sticker on it. Steelbook for the movie Short Circuit, like so. Johnny Five is alive, and a special edition with a book version of book and posters of Short Circuit 2. Fantastic. Nice, very nice. And the Titans of Cult release of the first Space Jam movie in steelbook. Okay, I've got some more Spider-Men here. So first up I have a Spider-Man steelbook like so, which contains Venom. Well, there we go. Venom, Into the Spider-Verse, Homecoming, and Far From Home. It's a great steelbook. I really like that steelbook a lot. And then we have here Into the Spider-Verse Blu-ray copy. Fantastic, fantastic film. Let's get it, because he's not in order really. So let me just get them in a bit of order. So then we have Into the Spider-Verse 4K. Yeah, I've got it a few times over, I know. Then Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire. Spider-Man 2, Tobey Maguire. Spider-Man 3, Tobey Maguire. The Amazing Spider-Man in 4K, like so. And The Amazing Spider-Man 2 in Blu-ray, like that. And I do have a 4K set for the original Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans, like so, in this sort of... and I got this quite cheap, actually. So I was happy to get them like that. The only Spider-Man film I don't have in 4K is The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and I cannot get through that film anymore, ever. It's trash. So then we have, keeping with comic book movies, The Swamp Thing, and Swamp Thing 2. Spirit, comic book. Spawn, comic book movie. Super, fantastic film. James Gunn. Shazam, 3D. And my chair's creaking, I know. And The Suicide Squad that I really enjoyed. Now, a couple of collector's sets. Rutger Hauer, Split Second. With the very first ever appearance of Venom. Take a look at the creature at the end. It's so Venom inspired, it really is. And Kim Cattrall's in this as well. A special release of The Strangers. Book. And the Shawshank Redemption. But what I'd done was I acquired the Blu-ray in a sale, a 4K in a sale, and the 4K now lives in this box. Give me that. There we go. Fantastic film. And I picked this up for £1. Swamp Shark. I don't know why. Superman movie, 4K. Spy. A film again of two halves because I despise Melissa McCarthy. I like Jason Statham. But someone told me Jason Statham isn't in it too much. I've not watched it. I got it cheap, obviously. Street Fighter, Van Damme. Sky High, Kurt Russell film, Disney. Another version of Snow White with cards. Snow White and Huntsman. And although it should be, it's part of the franchise, so Huntsman's Winter War, but I probably showed that under H. I don't know. Next up, Step Brothers, funny film. And Serendipity, one that I have good memories of seeing at the cinema. John Cusack and Kate Beckinsale. So not many more and I'm done. Still booked for the movie Spiral. The Saw film. I don't mind the Saw franchise. a steelbook for the movie Spawn. I like the steelbook. It's a rubbish film, but I love it. It's one of those. Then we have Snake Eyes, G.I. Joe Origins movie. Steelbook. The Sixth Sense steelbook. And I'm going to be a bit naughty here because I'm going to throw in an R that I forgot to show in my R's 2 weeks ago. And that is for Rambo Last Blood. This is the foreign version that I spoke about that had the original opening still attached to it. Yes. There we go. And now let me wrap this up with a last stint. We're at the final hurdle, so to speak. So we have Superman, the Anthology series, 1978-2006. So for Christopher Reeves and the Brandon Routh movie. And then we have this release of Superman the movie, the extended cut, and Superman the movie, the special edition. So special edition and the TV cut. Supergirl. This is a 2-disc edition that has the director's cut, the international cut on Blu-ray and the director's cut on DVD in there. Then we have Superman Red Sun steelbook. All-Star Superman. Superman and Doomsday. Suicide Squad, Hell to Pay. And these are animated films. The Death and the Return of Superman. This is the 2 films put together, which I will show you now as steelbook versions. And that is The Death of Superman and The Reign of the Supermen. So not to be confused with Superman Doomsday. Oh, bless me, sorry. In which he dies as well. It's completely different, you know. It's the same story, just reworked, so to speak. Yes. So that was, where was I? Yeah, them 2 steelbooks there. Then we have Superman, the Man of Tomorrow. And this here, like collection of Superman animated films, which has, yes, I know I've got that one already, but it has all those in it. Public Enemies, Apocalypse. You've got Superman Unbound, Superman Doomsday, Superman versus the Elite, Superman Apocalypse, Superman Public Enemies. Like so. And the one last item, the very last item under the S's, which it probably isn't, but there we go, as far as I'm aware, is at this present stage. And that is this graphic novel book version for The Death of Superman, which is this one here. Yeah, but this actually contains the complete graphic novel. It is English, of that story from 1993 or 94, when it was published. And at the back you get 2 discs in there as well. Very, very nice edition. Very nice. So that is it. That's it for the S's. 2 weeks' time, back with the T's. Come and join me. Hit the subscribe button and yeah, leave me a comment down below. And there we go. This is AJ. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Take care, everyone. Goodbye.